Hey, good day to you. How's everybody doing? What's up to you? Hope everything going all right in your day. Um, been an interesting morning so far. It's a nice weather out there. Anyway, I wanted to show you what this leader said out of the UN. Let me state by saying I don't hold no political office. This is for commentary, educational purposes only. Um, I'm not left wing, right wing, Democrat, Republican, or anything like that. I'm not anti-American or anything like that. But it's the principle of this video is to open up people's eyes into what other people seen in the world. So let's see what this guy says. I'm gonna go to this video.
President of the General Assembly. This is my last statement as president here. It's the fourth time. In my first speech, I announced that it was very likely that there would be conflicts in Ukraine and Gaza and Palestine, and that I suggested that there be a peace conference, but those who don't have bombs or large budgets are not heated here. Well, 4 years later, the horrific situation in Palestine did not lead me to think that almost the same thing could happen in the Colombian Caribbean area, where unarmed young people are being shot at with missiles in the open seas. And now we are in a different situation. Perhaps it's more global, a kind of Stone Age that has descended on all of humankind. Missiles against 17 unarmed young people in the Caribbean Sea, some of them Colombians. The persecution, imprisonment, and expulsion of millions of migrants, missiles that have killed some 70,000 people in Gaza, the lack of action on the climate crisis. Sun goes down on the dreamless night. All this is linked, and all this has the same cause. Migration is simply an excuse so that a rich society, rich, white, and racist, believes itself to be the superior race and is not realizing that its leaders are leading it to the abyss, to its own distinction, together with the rest of humanity. They said that the missiles in the Caribbean were used to stop drug trafficking. That is a lie. Stated here in this very rostrum. In 2023 and 2024 were years when the largest amount of cocaine was seized, and over 700 drug traffickers were extradited to the United States and Europe. I extradited them, and my government seized, confiscated the cocaine, and we didn't shoot a single missile, nor did we kill any youths. The years where I was able to prove that it's more effective to substitute coca crops than eradicate them, than forced eradication using poison, and forcing peasants to use it. The violent war against drugs was a failure, and I replaced it with an effective anti-trafficking policy, not based on a mix-up between an inert substance, that is drugs, with people who actually use it and practice it. But what was necessary is to destroy dialogue and to shoot missiles. Was it really necessary on unarmed, poor young people in the Caribbean? The anti-drug policy policy is not meant to stop cocaine that is coming to the United States. The anti-drug policy is to dominate the peoples of the South as a whole. You shouldn't look at the drugs, you should look at who has the power and who dominates. This is why I speak to you as a decertified president. I've been decertified by President Trump without him having any right to do this, a human right or divine right or any sensible reason. They want to force by violence tens of thousands of peasants to do what the U.S. government wants to do, which are influenced by mafia groups in Colombia. Thousands of peasants are massacred in Colombia by politicians who were senators, who were presidents, who were ministers that were bribed and on the payroll of the drug mafia. And at the same time, they were allies of the extreme right based in Florida of the United States, and now allies of the Trump administration. They've been allied for decades with drug lords, cocaine drug lords in Colombia. They were allies, and so they led this anti-drug policy from Washington. I don't know if Trump even knows that his foreign policy towards Colombia, Venezuela, and towards the Caribbean is based on advice from Colombians who are allies of the cocaine mafia. I myself denounced these politicians, including the paramilitaries, drug traffickers, naming them by their names in the Congress of Colombia when I was senator, and many times they wanted to kill me because of that. And they did not want me to become president. They wanted me to shut up, and now they don't want another progressive government to be reelected. That is why I've been personally
let me say it like this. This guy, who is the president of Colombia, I've heard, some American expats say that when they went down to Medellin, he cleaned up Medellin area because there was a lot of scoping and robberies and stuff. So he's been cleaning up Colombia. This is from I've heard expats online with this, and so it sounds like he's doing the work. What he's saying is true, because you can hear from some expats that come on YouTube and that live in Colombia, and I've heard it saying how the way it's different now. It used to be, they catching people and they dealing with trafficking, trafficking.
Certified, and they have spread calumny against Colombia. Colombia has confiscated the highest amount of cocaine in the history of the country under my government, and I've been decertified. In Colombia, we have managed to stop the increase in the rate of expansion of coca crops that was 43% under the government of Duque and has dropped to 3%, and Duque was not decertified. He was who had someone who financed his campaign who was a drug trafficker, and instead they've decertified me. So the anti-drug policy is not aimed at the public health of a society, but rather to prop up a policy.
Let me interrupt right there. That's true. And also, if you go online and you go down to Colombian airport, they have a high. What they like TSA down here with the police and everything. From what I've seen, they're very strict when it comes to, and they got the technology that to pick up the little things. People have smuggled things in and out of the place, but that's confirmation. He do have. They always had it seem like they really crack down, and they crack down on foreigners coming and trying to bring in or come in or take out and they stop him right there, and they pop him and they put him in prison down there. So he's absolutely right. But I wanted to get to this video. But yeah, it's a message, and it's the reason why I'm doing it like this, because I'm gonna play a part of this video where his brother.
Find the right care team, maintain a positive mindset.
Now the reason that I say don't feel bad, but for us, black people, to stumble across this phrase, because baby compared to man is what? In power terms. The word is powerless. Baby compared to man is powerless. Now everybody comes from the continent of Africa. Human life began here. Black people were the first people, and I don't mean some higher monkey, were the mothers and fathers of everybody on the planet. Now, when white males have sexual relations with black women, they feel genetically powerless. Are you following me? And because we are their mothers, that's why they like the whole concept of Mammy. They like to be fed by Uncle Ben and Aunt Jemima. See, that really was why Oprah had a whole lot of love. Because, honey, baby, tell Mammy what's the matter. See, Oprah was saying to Shirley MacLaine one time, you know, Oprah was always talking about she needed to lose weight. And Shirley MacLaine said, just popped out of her mouth, if you lose your weight, you'll lose your show. Because they wanted subconsciously a nurturing mother figure. Do you see, they call the white woman who takes care of children a nanny, but they call the black woman a mammy.
In the final portion of her lecture, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing explains her well-known theory that the foundation of white supremacy is rooted in the fear of genetic annihilation. She argues that because white people are a global minority and produce recessive genes, they fear extinction through sexual reproduction with people of color. This fear, she explains, has manifested most prominently in the obsession with the black male genitalia. According to Dr. Welsing, the black male phallus contains the greatest concentration of melanin, making black men the greatest biological threat to white genetic survival. This fear is not merely abstract. It has been translated into concrete strategies of attacks against black men. Dr. Welsing emphasizes that the black male phallus has been targeted both physically and symbolically. She describes how white supremacists have constructed numerous structures, monuments, and symbols modeled after the black male phallus. These replications, while subconscious, reveal a simultaneous fear and fascination. At the same time, attacks on the black male, lynchings, castrations, mass incarceration, and stereotypes of hypersexuality are direct assaults designed to neutralize what white supremacy views as its greatest biological rival. For Welsing, these actions explain why the black male has consistently been at the center of white racist aggression.
The mother. Now look at this. I say that we pushed the albino mutants out. That's what the story of Adam and Eve is really all about. Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, they ate the forbidden fruit and became ashamed of their nakedness. And they were chased out of the Garden of Eden.
by playing. Then
psychiatrists and child psychiatrists. See, all of this is subconscious symbol formation in the brain computer. Just like the term motherfucker. You see, but out of this comes ball games. What are these called colloquially? Balls. Every season has a ball game. And what do they say? Keep your eye on.
Football.
See, now, this is code. See, this is speaking to the subconscious. Keep your eye on the ball. So now, what else do they do with the balls? If you read the ISIS papers, don't tell. This same brain computer will turn out specific balls. So what are the two series of ball games in the system of racism, white supremacy? No. The two series of ball games, somebody read the book. Big brown and small white. Now see, they're without being consciously aware, they make the white ball small because the genetic material is recessive. So I want ping pong, golf, baseball. I could put marble. Big brown, football, basketball, bowling ball. Now to me, isn't this fascinating? See, in other words, what is in the subconscious is going to come out. You know, before psychiatry became pharmaceutical psychiatry, psychiatrists were trained to look at the symbols and to translate the symbolism. Anybody who's doing child psychiatry, you look at the children in the symbolic play that they engage in and translate that into understanding what are they worried about, what are they upset about. So ball games, I hope I didn't spoil anybody's Sunday afternoon. But what happens in these big brown balls? You have little white girls dancing on the side in short dresses. In football, you have the ball going where? Some white upright legs at the end of the field. I didn't make up the game. I just know how to look at it. See, the big brown basketball goes into a white net. This is a symbol of the female's vaginal organs. And what does the white female say is her ideal mate? Tall, jar, and handsome.
your favorite channels. No more sports. Plus, no more Bravo or NBC. YouTube TV customers, act now to keep watching your favorite channels. Go to getyourchannels.com now.
I launched EcoSlave on Labor Day of 2018. Long story short, I sent it to someone through some.
See, if to be behind the eight ball is the same thing as President Barack Obama being in the White House. And so-called being in a position to tell people what to do. See, now that's a no-no. Because if the black man can tell white people what to do, then that's the fear of white genetic annihilation. And they can't have it. You see, we have to make
She refers to the gun as the white supremacist's great equalizer, a phallic-shaped weapon intended to conquer and control the black world. Her interpretation is that white men created the gun as a symbolic and literal substitute for the power they feared in the black male body. If black men had the power to annihilate the white race through their reproductive capacity, then the gun became the tool for whites to annihilate black men in return. This dynamic, Dr. Welsing explains, is not coincidental, but deeply psychological. Dr. Welsing also analyzes American sports, another arena where subconscious fears about the black male phallus are acted out. In games centered around balls, whether attacking the balls, protecting the balls, or scoring with the balls, there is a symbolic fixation on the black male body and sexuality. These contests, while designed as entertainment, also reflect an underlying tension between white fear and black physical superiority. Ironically, while white male supremacists are fixated on controlling and neutralizing black men, white women have often fantasized about being with black men. Dr. Welsing notes that the image of the tall, dark, and handsome man reveals the attraction many white women feel towards black men, further fueling white male insecurity. In closing, Dr. Welsing stresses that the global system of white supremacy depends on maintaining division and preventing true unity between black men and women. She insists that if unity and solidarity are achieved, not only would it strengthen black families and communities, but it will ultimately threaten the existence of white supremacy itself. The fear of black love, black men and women uniting, reproducing, and building strong families, lies at the heart of white supremacist strategies of domination. For this reason, Dr. Welsing concludes that black love is indeed a revolutionary act, and that understanding the psychology of white supremacy is essential for dismantling it.
Wow. Wow, that's powerful. But sometimes when I hear this video, it makes you think. Some things that make you think.
So white people will never leave black people alone, and I'm going to tell you why. White society's obsession with black people isn't new. It's centuries old. If you think about slavery, colonialism, and exploitation, from the start, white wealth in America was built off the backs of black bodies. Sugar, cotton, tobacco, rice. This wasn't just economics. It was a system where white people's very identity was shaped around controlling and owning and watching black bodies. But here's the wild contradiction in all of this, right? While trying to dehumanize us, white culture has always been obsessed with us, right? They copied our music, our style, our language, our food, even our rhythm, all while denying us basic rights. Think about jazz and rock and hip hop and fashion, all born out of black genius, only to be taken, watered down, and sold back to the world with a white face on it. So why can't they just stay away? Because in a system that is built both on exploitation and envy, distance is impossible. White supremacy depends on keeping black people in place, close enough to use, control, or imitate, but never free enough to threaten the hierarchy. It's a sick paradox, fear and fascination at the same damn time. On a psychological level, it's projection. White folks will project their guilt, their fear, and their insecurities onto blackness, and then turn around and crave the very life, culture, and resilience they try to destroy. It's like they want the sauce, but not the struggle. Now, to be real, not every white person acts like this, but the system, the way whiteness has defined itself against blackness, makes it so this obsession keeps resurfacing. Whether it's over policing or culture appropriation or trying to legislate our lives, it always comes back to the old need to dominate mixed with a quiet desire to be what they can't.
We have one of them folks who went on camera. I came across this on TikTok, and he's asking his people why you can't just leave black people alone. Take a look at what he has to say.
Why is it that white folks support anti-blackness, racism, and white supremacist culture in so many goddamn ways? Why is it that we support it through our silence, our defensive, our denial, that Let's not talk about it. Let's ignore it. All that gymnastics, that defensiveness, anger, passive aggressiveness, the stereotyping, the overt, covert racist, all that we do, the gaslighting, all that we do as white people. Why can't we just leave black people the alone? Because we were taught that. Back in the day, we demanded black people be segregated, right? So we segregated black people said, okay, great, we're going to make her. They started doing great. What did we do? We burned their communities down to the ground. Telling black people what they should think, feel, do, be. Do better. I'm tired of what my people have done, what they continue to do. I'm tired of seeing people suffer. I'm tired of quality. And you ought to get too.
You know, one topic that baffles me is the white people's obsession with black people. Some of it goes back to the fact that they don't see us as fully human. Because for all of enslavement and even past that time, 3/5 human and all these things, we were seen as property. Just a taskmaster, a do-boy, a do-girl, some other, we almost like livestock. And so some of that I feel has permeated the psyche of those that descend from people that were enslavers. And some people that, because not all white people's lineage, like not all white people come from people that actually had the money or means to own people, but they acted in overseer positions. Best believe that they participated in the oppression of us, of our people. And I started digging into it because yesterday I kept seeing pop up on my timeline white people trying or attempting to co-opt the word black fatigue to say they are tired of the ghetto, blah, 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 blah. When essentially black fatigue is what we experience just dealing with the systems and the day-to-day existing within this place that we find ourselves. The same way they took woke, they trying to take black fatigue, but we're not going for that. We're going to continue to tell the truth about that terminology. But I asked AI, and I hate AI, but I asked AI, why are white people obsessed with black people? And it responded as the people that actually programmed AI, because this is what it said. The query expresses a harmful stereotype and generalization suggesting that white people are obsessed with black people. But ChatGPT and OpenAI and all those things have been found to have racist perceptions because of the people that they only are able to pull the information as what's been presented to them, and the vast majority have been programmed by those. But so they see us as things versus as people, right? They feel they know better than us, and the constant stuff they because they were pointing finger telling us what to do back then, they feel like they still know more than us or better than us how we need to conduct ourselves in life. They don't want us to occupy spaces that are above the stations that they feel that we should occupy. Thus all this talk around DEI and meritocracy, which is nonsensical. Let's be very fucking clear. But they want us in a subservient, because it's about maintenance of social hierarchy. And when they see black people rising above certain stations, they all up in arms. But my thing, and not only that, the implicit bias, and then they threatened by black joy and all these things. And that's why people say, well, if they can't stand us so much, why they can't leave us alone? Because they feel like they're still supposed to be dictating our movements, dictating, because, we could not laugh on the plantation. We could not openly express ourselves. There were so many restrictions on us just existing, and these new white people are the offspring of those people, and so they still feel that they are supposed to be in the mix. And that's why when y'all be passing out passes to come to cookouts, I don't come from that. My family didn't play that shit, so I don't know nothing about it at all. No, absolutely.
just so loose with information online. And I know you want to share it with your people, but you need to come up with something else. Your left hand ain't not supposed to know what your right hand is doing and vice versa. Y'all just spilling the beans. Just constantly just spilling the beans. Just share. And that is part of the problem, because we are so community-based and we're so open and welcoming to people, and that is how they came in and poisoned people against one another and captured so many people, because we were just like, oh, these are different people, but they are people. But are they though? Are they the kind of, are they? It's got to be a line. Got to be a line. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, that is something that has been on my mind. Why are you so obsessed? Why? And a lot of it is because you think they really do feel like they still own us. Some of them. We don't know.
Wow. Check what this pastor said.
Do you support Israel and the Jewish people? Now, more than ever, Israel needs committed...
I don't want to be out of line. But as a white pastor with a white congregation, I'm not struggling to find sympathy for the cops. I'm not struggling to find compassion for the police officers in my congregation. What I'm struggling against is people that I have known and loved that are saying things like, this happened over 100 years ago, why are they still going on about it? That, well, you're talking about stuff that ended a long time ago, Pastor. Why can't they just forget about it and move on? Well, why do we have to have a Black History Month? Where's our White History Month? Or even the stupid comments, even stupider than that, like Juneteenth? When do we get our holiday? It's called July 4th. What I'm struggling with is, how do I answer these people? How do I pastor these people? How do I come against mindsets that have been embedded for decades, that have been inbred in them, and they think they are righteous and justified, and they don't see the sin in their own heart? And how do I pastor that? I've got friends that are officers, and I love them, and I hurt for them. But right now, what I'm seeing is the pain in my brothers who are Black and my sisters who are Black. And I do have compassion for the police. But when I have betrayed a trust, it is my responsibility to find out how to fix that. And to my white pastor friends, we have a horrible track record in the church of betraying trust.
Hello lovelies, welcome back to this episode. This white preacher is trying to remind his Congress to think about each and everything they've been doing to Black people, and to try to repent, because you will not go in heaven if you still have that hatred heart, if you can't forgive, if you can't have that heart of Jesus, of a real Christian. Let's get to hear him very well. Drop your opinion in the comment section, then we'll come back with more commentaries.
So I just had a comment on someone on Facebook, and this is what helped me, and this is where I think we've got to go. We've got to have the dialogues, and we've got to have a place. My Black pastor friends and my Black friends, I've got to know what to do, because you know my heart, but many of you know my heart. And so you know when I ask these questions, I'm asking because I really want reconciliation, okay? I really want to see this healed, and I don't want another hashtag. I don't want another hashtag. I made a comment. I didn't even make a comment. I posted celebrating Juneteenth. And I had a guy comment, didn't Abraham Lincoln take care of that? Are you going to tear down his statue too? And my thought was, what in the world does that have to do with anything? Did you not even read what the holiday is about? And that's the issue. There is a lack of desire for education because we have people that think they already know the answer, and they don't understand that they keep doing the same thing, responding in the same way, and nothing changes, but it's all the black people's fault because they just won't get over it. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Please hear my heart. Guys, we're in a situation where, and Ubi, you're right, if the church doesn't get this right, the city's not going to get it right. But until we start having the honest conversations and having a place like this where we say, so what do we say? What do I say to my friends? What do I say to change their minds? We're not going to get it right. Does that make sense? Please hear my heart. So I'm walking in and I said to Brother Clarence, I said, I need a little perspective. Because here's what I didn't answer him. I deleted this guy, deleted his comment because I didn't want, it was stupid. And then I went and posted something about sometimes you delete a comment because you want to save somebody their last thread of dignity. Brother Clarence said, yeah, but he's asking a question. He's thinking. You've called his attention to something, and now he has to go and think about it, and now he's asking a question. You see, that's a perspective that I didn't have. It's from a perspective of someone that's already wrestled through some issues that I'm wrestling through now. Does that make sense? Guys, this is where we gotta go. This is where we gotta go. Because the issue in the church is deep. It's deep. And what's keeping it in place is the defense and the deflection of the white people that continue to think and to say, you've got to get over it, you've got to get over it, you've got to get over it. And the whole time they're continuing to perpetrate it over and over. It has nothing to do with police. It has everything to do with a systematic mindset that is embedded and embedded in our culture that has to change, and it begins when we begin to repent of things that God has condemned. It begins when we come together as pastors and say, I'm sorry, and I'm sorry if I lose half my congregation. But listen, I'm a proponent for unity in the city and have been for 8 years. And I've seen God move, and I've seen God do things, and I've seen God lay groundwork. But until the races are unified, the church will not be unified the way God wants it to be unified. And until we repent, white pastors, until we repent of our ignorance and our deflection and our defense.
That's it for today. I'll get back with you in a moment. Take care.